Hi, this video is going to help you build the skill of solving systems of equations algebraically. So I'm going to put a system up here. Y equals x is going to be a line, and y equals x minus 3 squared plus 1 is, of course, a parabola. And I'm going to ask you to solve this system algebraically. Now, when I ask you to solve a system algebraically, what I mean in terms of the graph is where do these two graphs intersect each other? And to find that out, you could look at the graph, but I've asked you to solve it algebraically, so you have to set up some kind of system here. You have to use one of the methods for solving a system, I guess. I guess what I would do, since y equals x, is I would just set those two equations equal to each other and go ahead and solve from there. Now, I see I have a squared for that quadratic, but I have this x by itself, which cues me in that the only way I'm really going to be able to do this at this point is by expanding this side. I can't square root both sides or anything like that. So I'm going to expand it and then maybe subtract x, because when I have a system of equations, I do have to set it equal to, a quadratic equation, I have to set it equal to 0. There we go. So now I'm going to look for a way to solve for x. One nice way, we could complete the square and solve. We could use quadratic formula. We could try factoring. I usually try factoring first. So I know that they have to multiply out to be 10, but they have to add up to be negative 7x. And so I'm thinking about all the things that multiply to give me 10, and it looks like 2 and 5 might be able to add up to negative 7 if they're both negative. So that'll help me when I'm constructing. I like to draw this rectangle and think this has to be x squared, this has to be 10, and then there's going to be a negative 5x and a negative 2x. So if I'm looking for those dimensions, x minus 2 and x minus 5 will work. That tells me that my two factors are x minus 2 times x minus 5. And since I know that equals 0, now I can set each of those factors equal to 0 and solve for x. This gives me the x value of where those two graphs cross each other, but I also need to find out what y is. Now, it's going to be the same for either one. I can use either one of these equations, but it sure is easier to plug it into that top one. So I'm going to do that. If I know y equals x, then I'm just going to find them that way. This tells me that at the point 2, 2 and at the point 5, 5, these graphs will cross. And that is how you can solve a system of equations algebraically. All right, let's practice those before the next test, and good luck.